as Roma Wines bring you Miss Lucille Ball in a remarkable tale of suspense.
Well, Sarah? Sarah?
Come in, George. How did it go, darling? George, you're trembling. Something went wrong.
No, nothing went wrong.
You got it then?
Yeah, I got it stuffed in all my pockets. Here, I'll dump it on the bed. Here you are, Sarah. 17 grand.
17,000? It's more than we expected.
Yeah.
George, you're acting queerly. Did everything work out all right?
Sure it did. It was duck soup, just like old times, Sarah. Remember how every job clicked? Sure fire when we used to plan them together.
George.
Yeah?
You're lying, aren't you?
Sarah, you really love me, don't you?
Do you have to ask? Would I have come back otherwise?
10 years is a long time. I thought you'd be changed. I never thought you'd come back like this out of nowhere. I don't even know what you've been doing, where you've been living, what name you're using. You haven't told me a thing about yourself.
I will, George. I will, as soon as we get out of this apartment. As soon as we're really together, darling.
That's the way you want it, isn't it, Sarah?
Of course. Why do you think I never got a divorce? I didn't, you know. I didn't even consider it.
No, you didn't. And you could have. You certainly had a right with me up for 5 years on a felony. I'm glad you waited, Sarah. You won't regret it.
I'm sure I won't, George. But let's not talk about that now. We have a train to make.
You know, Sarah, you're as good to look at as you were 10 years ago.
Oh, you're just making talk, George, and you haven't answered my question. I want to know what went wrong.
I'd given up hope, Sarah. I didn't expect to see you again.
But I came back.
I've done 2 stretches, Sarah. 9 years in jail out of 10. I wouldn't have pulled another job if you hadn't shown up. You won't go away again, will you?
Only with you, George.
Sarah, the scent of your hair. I used to dream of it. Those long nights in jail. Now it's real. Holding you like this. With your hair in my face.
George, you're hurting me. Your arms.
I'm sorry. Just that I'm so afraid it isn't true having you again. I want to hold you tight forever.
George, what happened? What went wrong?
Sarah, I had to kill a man. Well, have you got anything to say?
Only the obvious. It's murder, then. That changes my plans.
Your plans?
My plans for us.
You're going to stick with me, aren't you?
Of course. I didn't come back after 10 years only to run right out again. And we must think this out carefully. Are you sure you left no clues?
Only the gun. I wiped it off clean and left it there. It's a gun I picked up years ago. No way to tack it on me.
Fingerprints?
Gloves.
Then there's nothing to worry about.
Only if they happen to pick me up on suspicion.
I see. Are they after you now, George?
Of course not. Nobody heard the shot. There was nobody in the building but that bald-headed bookkeeper. He hadn't gone home. Must have stayed to get his books in shape for the morning. My luck.
And you weren't followed or chased?
You don't think I'd have come here if they were after me?
I'm sorry, George. I know you wouldn't.
You're not sore at me, then? We can go ahead just as we planned? Our train leaves in an hour. We'll pick up the tickets at the station. Sarah, it's hard to believe in an hour we'll be on the way to Florida, you and I.
Yes, George.
Just the 2 of us. In the warm sun. It's a dream I've had for 10 years in and out of jail. I figured it would always be a dream. You know, it's funny.
What's funny?
There's a bald-headed man lying dead over there at the finance company. He's finished. And we're just beginning. I never killed a man, Sarah. Never before.
You'll do all right from now on, George. You'll forget about that thing. I'll help you forget it.
Yeah.
But we've got to hurry now. Put your hat on. Now go over and pick up the tickets.
Well, I thought we'd go to the station together.
Silly, I've got to dress.
Yeah, well, the Sunset Limited leaves at 8 o'clock. There's only an hour.
I know. I'll dress and pack and meet you in 30 minutes at the train gate. Have you any money? Here, take some of this. I'll put the rest in the valise and bring it in a cab so it won't be found on you if anything happens.
Why didn't you come back before, Sarah? I didn't realize it till this minute. I've been like an orphan for 10 years. Kiss me?
Now, that's all, George. You've got to hurry now.
Yeah. Remember, the Sunset Limited at the gate.
I'll remember.
And don't forget to clean out the desk.
I'll take care of everything, George. Now, hurry. Hello? Police headquarters? A man was killed a few minutes ago at the Vanda Finance Company on Dexter Avenue. Please don't interrupt. If you go to the LaSalle station, you'll catch the murderer at the Sunset Limited train gate. His name is Monk. George Monk.
I'm coming. Oh, I knew it was you, Sarah. Only you would ring so insistently when you know I'm handicapped by this infernal crutch.
Good evening, Peter. How's our next governor? Aren't you going to kiss me? I've been away 3 days.
Is it necessary, my dear?
Peter, are you going to let the neighbors see me standing out here with this valise? Kiss me, you idiot. You can stand it if I can.
Very well. Satisfied, my dear? Now that we've performed for the neighbors, shall we go in?
The city's underworld, it appears, has broken out again with a new wave of violence, robbery, and potential
I see you've moved the radio again.
I moved it nearer the easy chair. This crutch makes it hard for me to get around. I hope you don't mind, my dear. I mean, it's being more convenient for me.
Is that the news? I want to hear it.
Police are seeking George Monk, an ex-convict who shot and killed the finance company bookkeeper and escaped with $17,000 in cash.
What do you want to turn that
The
up
bookkeeper
for?
had
It's
evidently
nothing
been
but a
surprised
sordid
by the
murder.
Oh,
robbery
shut up.
and shot without warning. But there's a mystery angle here which sets this case apart from the ordinary holdup. Police are seeking an unidentified woman who tipped them off a few minutes after the murder, naming George Monk, and telling them just where he could be picked up. Unfortunately, one of the officers sent to apprehend the murder was recognized by Monk, who made his escape in the crowded railroad station.
What's the matter, my dear? Why did you turn the radio off? You look as if you'd seen a ghost.
Leave me alone, Peter.
Well, what sort of villainy were you up to in Chicago? Sarah, come back here. Where are you going?
I'm going up to my room. I want to unpack. Good night, Peter.
Burglary in Chicago. Mysterious woman who tipped off the police. Just a moment, Sarah.
I said good night, Peter.
$17,000. Sarah, I want to know what's in that valise. Why are you hanging on to it like that?
Stay where you are, Peter. Don't come up these stairs.
What's wrong? Are you afraid to let me see what's in that valise?
No, I'm not afraid. Just don't come up any closer.
Well, that same little pistol of yours. Would you shoot me with it again, my dear?
If you come a step further.
Drop the gun. You're not going to shoot me now, just before election. You want to be the governor's lady, don't you?
Stand still, Peter.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I've got to know what's in there.
Take another step, I'll shoot.
You're a fool, Sarah. Clever and ruthless, yes, but nevertheless a fool. Look at all the terrible things you've done to satisfy your ambition. Even murder now. And it's all been a waste of time.
What do you mean?
Did you know that the results of the popular poll were published today?
Well?
It gives Stephen Archer a 15% edge over me. And not only that, but the incumbent governor, the man we're both trying to beat, ran ahead of the two of us in the poll.
You're not lying about that?
Of course not, my dear. How did you expect to beat Stephen Archer and his money? We're broke.
No, Peter, we're not broke.
Oh? You mean you have $17,000 in that bag?
I'm going to be the governor's wife, I tell you. There's nothing that could stop me. Nothing.
I believe you, Sarah. Why, I believe you'd even murder Archer if you had to. Let me have that valise.
You can't seem to understand, Peter. You're not going to open it.
Then shoot me, my dear. You do it so well. It comes so natural to you. Maybe you can shoot me in the other leg this time.
Oh, will you never stop throwing it up to me? That was an accident.
A very fortunate accident, wasn't it, Sarah? Just when I was ready to accept a commission in the army. You didn't want to be the wife of an army captain. Your ambition ran higher than that. You wanted to be the governor's lady. Now, Sarah, I'm going to see what you have there. And you're not going to do anything about it.
Get away from me, Peter!
No, Sarah, you're going to give them to me. There's the gun. And now that black... Sarah, don't! The stairs! Sarah...